there, Robin from Anime America here, along with Megan. We're going to be uploading some random stuff that's not necessarily related to anime, but something that's personal to the Anime America hosts. For example, me and Megan love animated movies, so we're going to be ranting about the 2012 animated movies that were nominated for an Oscar.
And not nominated.
And not nominated, absolutely. So,
also, if I ever seem distracted while I'm recording, I'm kind of watching season 3 qualifier for League, so if I start screaming, I apologize. I'm
that's
paying
all good.
attention still.
It's all good. So first, let's
Go.
list the movies that were nominated for Best Animated Film. It was Wreck-It Ralph, Paranorman, um, Pirates, a Band of Misfits, which came from the same people that made Wallace and Gromit, Brave, and Frankenweenie.
I saw all but one of those. I actually
Right.
saw almost all of these. The only one that I didn't see was Frankenweenie because it looks stupid. I literally sat there and was like, I've seen this movie. I've already seen this movie, and it was good the way it was.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of understand Tim Burton. Like, he wanted to bring this idea to his true glory. Like, he started out with a short film, and he's all like, I really want to expand this, and he finally did. But we're all just sitting here like, we saw this. We know how it ends. Do you change it?
Yeah.
Can we trust you to make it better? After you made Dark Shadows?
Again, I've only seen, personally, there's only, 3 Tim Burton movies I actually like, and then again, the one that everybody tends to like is the one I actually don't like.
What, Nightmare?
Yeah, I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas, actually.
It was my childhood.
I know it's your childhood, but it's not that good of a movie.
I thought it was good. I mean, it wasn't like anything we've ever seen before. I mean, the claymation was a lot better than what it was back then. And
I'm not talking about the technicals. I'm just saying the reasons why everybody loves it. Like, oh, it's such a story about branching out and being. I don't think a lot of people actually paid attention to that movie. Or I don't know if my problem is that I had it hyped up for me for so many years, and then I finally watched it. And I was like, this is it. I was like, really? This. I hate Jack as a lead character. I don't like him. I don't like Jack. I really don't. I think he's a douchebag.
He ain't worth Jack.
He's a douchebag.
He's like, I'm getting tired. I want to do something else. I'm gonna steal Christmas.
My life sucks, even though I'm the king of a town where everyone literally worships the ground I walk on. And I have this really hot chick who likes me, but I'm too busy bitching about everything for her to notice me. I'm just gonna steal Christmas and get shut down by the military. And then go, oh wait, I was happy the entire time. No, that movie is about staying in your box and not trying shit. I'd like to thank my friend Bo for literally yelling that at me one day, or at least discussing that with me at Holiday Matsuri. That was the best conversation ever. But yeah, I've seen Frankenweenie. I saw the short film, which is on the DVD for Nightmare Before Christmas, if you have a certain copy of it, actually.
I do.
So yeah, if you have the copy of Nightmare Before Christmas that's Frankenweenie, go watch it, because it's actually really good. The way it was.
I'm moving my microphone back a little bit. Here we go. Okay. So
want to do Pirates next because you didn't see it?
I'd say out of all of them, I have not seen. Okay, I'll confess, I only saw 2 of them on the list.
Which was Paranorman. Oh no, wait, you've only seen Brave and Wreck-It Ralph because they were Disney and Pixar.
Yeah. So me, I'm a Disney daughter, so I gotta watch every Disney animated film.
I don't know. I actually had reasons for me actually wanting to go and see all these movies.
Which is what I have to do from now on, because I'm trying to be a better critic when it comes to animated films, and pretty much proving to my dad that not every Disney animated film deserves an Oscar.
I mean, I saw Pirates, Band of Misfits, which it was no magnum opus, but it was still really entertaining.
It's from the same people that made Wallace and Gromit. Of course, it's going to be entertaining.
And that's not even the reason I went to go see it. I went to go see it because David Tennant's in it.
Of course.
He was Charles Darwin. I wasn't passing that up. Charles Darwin in a kids film, and it's voiced by David Tennant. I was like, this is going to only end in happiness, and it did. It was a really cute movie. It wasn't very. It wasn't like a crowding. Oh, it wasn't like a crowding. Like the technicals were great. It's just that there are some points of it that are just so wasted. Like the supporting cast
Hmm.
for like all the other pirates, like Selma Hayek's in it, and like you barely get to hear her. But it does have probably like the funniest villain out of any of the movies,
Hmm.
which was Queen Victoria attempting to eat extinct animals.
Okay.
It was really funny.
Hmm.
Like I like there's dodo birds and attempting to eat pandas. A smart ass chimp that Charles Darwin has. David Tennant playing Charles Darwin.
Yeah.
Like it's a really fun movie. It really is. It's really cute. It's cute. It's the cute movie.
Hmm.
It's the cute movie.
Okay.
So do you want to vent your hatred now?
Now I'm gonna save the hatred for last.
Why do we have to save the hatred for last? The hatred's
Okay,
hilarious.
maybe I should go next because you and I are gonna be ranting back and forth between Wreck-It and Paranorman. So.
Just get the hatred out of the way. Let your hatred flow, woman. Let it flow.
It's not my period.
That's inappropriate.
I know.
Cycle. I've watched enough Community to know where this is going.
Anyways, the one movie I hated in 2012 was Brave. I was built up to something spectacular. The trailer left me to believe that this was going to be about a princess who wanted a selfish wish and ended up like opening some sort of like dark, mysterious power in all of Scotland. And I was just like, oh, she's got to like, face up against her responsibilities and like she's got to save all of Scotland from what she did. And it sounds pretty badass. And look, she's got a bow and arrow. She's freaking badass. And that's what all the trailers were leading us to believe. And all we were seeing was like in the trailers closer to the movie was her wanting to get this wish and meeting a witch, and there's these bears randomly going along. I thought maybe she was going to meet those bears on the journey that she's going on, and I was like, okay, maybe the bears are just comedic relief, whatever. Pixar's never failed me, well, maybe except for Cars, but
Cars 2.
and Cars 2.
Cars 2.
Tom Mater, James Bond. Ugh. Anyways, and I'm like, okay, the trailers are leading me to believe this is going to be a spectacular adventure where she messes up, but she's going to take responsibility and be a badass princess. And what do we get in the end? Like, I'm a princess who doesn't want to be a princess. I've seen it before. I want to be free and wild and go out into the world. Seen it before. I turned my mom into a bear. When the spell's revealed and her mom gets turned into a bear, I flipped a table. I was just like...
You actually physically flip a table,
though. I flipped a table! I couldn't
really
flip my boyfriend's... I couldn't flip my fiance's desk. I was just like, table, flip it! And I got so many looks. I was just like, playing Brave. I was just like, that was the spell? Like, to change her fate. To change her fate, she turns her mom into a fucking bear.
Well, if you were actually watching the movie, you would have seen this coming.
No, I didn't!
I did!
How?
I paid attention to the movie.
But
I figured it out the second they revealed what happened to the other guy.
Other guy?
Remember they had the legend about the guy getting turned into a terrible monster?
No. They just showed a legend of the prince that wanted to become the king and destroyed his kingdom.
Exactly.
And then there was another big ferocious bear. That had nothing to do with the connection.
Bears are fucking scary.
And there's your explanation.
I could see a bear destroying a kingdom.
And the key essentials were like at the very beginning, you see the bear that pretty much chops off Daddy's leg. And then, like, you see the legend where there was 4 sons of a king. Each of them were going to get their own kingdom, but one was selfish, and he wanted to have the other kingdoms and pretty much destroyed the empire. And her mom gets turned into a bear. They find the ruins of the old kingdom, and they find the bear, and they're like, oh, wait a minute. He did the exact same spell.
That's bear. That's that douchebag from that legend.
Yep.
My cat was there, so I tried to catch my cat. I'm sorry.
I mean, I had no connections with the bear. I mean, like I think the only connection I had was like I had a similar wish. I had someone else ask for a similar wish. That was from the witch when Merida was asking the witch for a wish to change her fate, which is to change her mom. I mean, in the commercial, she wanted to change her fate. In the movie, she's
Her
like,
fate
I
was
want a
tied to her
spell
mother.
to change my mom.
Her fate was tied to her mom.
You could just say, make a spell to change my fate, not change my mom. Because
Well,
that could just go any way.
her fate was tied to her mom by the way that they established how the society works. The queen was pretty much the one in fucking charge in that movie. Her dad didn't do shit other than yell and have an awesome beard and a peg leg.
Yep.
Her dad's cool though. But yeah, it was pretty clear her mom was in charge the entire time.
Yep.
I mean, like, I don't think Brave was the best movie of last year, but it's certainly not the worst. Not by a long shot.
Well, not the worst movie in 2012. There was, that son of mine, that kid of mine.
That's my boy.
That's my boy.
I swear to God, if you ever want to see the greatest, I know we don't usually pimp out other reviewers, but if you ever want to see the greatest reaction to That's My Boy, look up stuff by the Cinema Snob's honest reviews of all the movies, and look up his friend having to watch That's My Boy. Holy shit. I was crying. It was hilarious. Someone is told to die of herpes.
Mm-hmm. My whole thing is that it just felt like this year Pixar and Disney switched places. We had a Disney princess with a stupid story and a fantastically original story. I'm just like, wait a minute. Pixar's the one who usually does that, not Disney. Even though they're all owned by the same company and all under the direction of the same dude, Mr. Lasseter. Disney's the one that pops out the princesses, and Pixar's the one that makes the cool movies. When did they switch?
The second they decided to bring that guy who wrote a couple of episodes of The Simpsons.
Brad Bird! Yay! I love Brad Bird.
Wasn't Brad Bird on Wreck-It Ralph?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
I know who it is. I know who it is, and I know it's not Brad Bird. I just have to remember, like, I'm trying to think of what his name is. I'm actually gonna look it up. Rich Moore.
Oh, Rich Moore does good, yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually trying to negotiate with Disney to do Wreck-It Ralph 2, and he wants It's Me, Mario.
Yeah, Mario ain't gonna come.
Oh man, it's gonna be cool. But yeah, as we're escalating from Brave to Wreck-It Ralph, I heartthrob. I love that movie so much. I could watch it as many times as I want to. I love it that much.
I like it.
I mean, Doug Walker was saying that he was hoping there'd be more video game characters, but that didn't really deter me. And I will say this, the only thing that really disappointed me was the fact that, you know, you're introduced to this vast world of video games, and yet we only visit 3 worlds. And that's Fix-It Felix Jr.'s world, Sugar Rush, and Hero's Duty.
Even then, Hero's Duty should barely qualify. Hero's Duty, they're literally there for like 10 minutes and then they're fucking gone.
But it was still like an essential plot point though, because he gets the medal, he gets shot out of that world with that bug, and that's what.
Spoiler alert! We're gonna tell you what happened.
Spoiler alert! Sorry.
We're going to assume a majority of you have actually seen these.
Sorry.
Oops. Anyway, you were saying.
As I was saying, it was still an essential plot point, but because like you get the bugs from that world, and one of the characters from that world has to go into Sugar Rush. Jane Lynch is awesome, dude. Did you see Jane Lynch for Halloween?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Why nobody cosplays Calhoun? Because you're not going to be Jane Lynch.
Exactly. You're never gonna be, if you're gonna cosplay Calhoun from Wreck-It Ralph, you're not gonna top Jane Lynch because Jane Lynch owned it.
We apologize.
Oh man, it was so good.
I don't know. I guess is it my time to talk about what I thought of the movie because you're gushing over it like a 5-year-old?
Yay!
I liked it. I
S-U-G-A-R.
really did. I think it's
Sorry.
I think it's like the second best movie, second best animated movie I saw all year. It's not, and I don't even think it, like honestly, I don't think it cracks my top 5 of just movies I saw last year because I actually did go to the movies a lot
Mm-hmm.
more than seeing the Avengers. So shut up. To me, like Wreck-It Ralph is really really good and it's really really interesting, but it has 3 fatal flaws. One was that um, it it didn't really like as much as you're gonna like. I think you might disagree with me about this. For as interesting and diverse as Wreck-It Ralph is, it's still relatively safe with its subject matter. It doesn't. It could have been really really like super super ambitious with a lot more things that it had than what it was already ambitious with, but it still played it relatively safe for audiences to think about because the second biggest flaw it has is also one of its biggest draws, and that it's a movie that banked 100% in its marketing on oh my god, look at the video game. To which, yeah, that's really cool for people like me, you, and the listeners, but to somebody like maybe my mom who doesn't understand video game stuff, she's not gonna want to. She might not want to go see a movie. She might not get a lot of the jokes at the very, especially towards the front of the movie. The front of the movie is where the references are front loaded.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's front loaded. It literally is. Hey, and that's another problem with it is. Hey, I really hope you were here for the people who wanted to see the video game stuff. Hey, I really hope you were pretty satisfied by the first 10 minutes maybe of the video game references because that's where they end. That's where they pretty much showed almost all the references in the trailer. I realized. And if you were coming for that, like there's a lot of aesthetic stuff in the background that you'll be like, oh, look at that. But if you're expecting it to be a prevalent thing in the movie and you haven't seen it, you'll be a little disappointed. So it's a huge draw and a huge detriment because it's also pandering to a very specific set of people. Because I mean, when I went for the first time with a bunch of my friends who were all in the video game club at my university, we were really, really pumped up when we were leaving. But when I noticed a lot of the little kids, they kind of were like confused because a lot of the references that are in the movie are about 10 years too old for them. So that's 10 years of
Kids
humor
these
you're
days don't
not
go
going
to
to get.
arcades.
And I guess the third problem for me ish really is that the ending I saw coming a mile away. Like there was no there was a twist about the villain of the movie
Oh, I
played
love
once
that twist.
by Alice. Yeah, the villain twist was really good, but once they kind of referenced what one of the jokes is in the movie, you're like, okay, I think I know where this is gonna go.
I think I figured it out like when like you see it. I know what you're talking about. Like when they see it and then they reference it to that
Yeah,
level of the game.
when they explain what the fuck going turbo is, you know what's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, that was like drawn out to the villain. Yeah, like you knew that somehow maybe he was gonna pop up, but you just didn't expect it in that way. You're just like, whoa, huh? I mean, later
Right.
on, you realize you should have figured it out earlier, where you just like, huh, that's a nice twist.
Like it's a nice twist, but it's one that you kind of knew was gonna happen. They could have done something else with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Taffin had turned out to be the villain, that would have been really cool too.
Nah.
Taffin is a little bitch.
Yes. Stay sweet, bitch.
Like I'll admit, there's a lot of really good stuff, and I wouldn't be upset if it won Best Animated Picture. But like if it was any other year and this came out for me, um, I would have been like, except for last year where you weren't beating The Adventures of Tintin. I'm sorry, that was a fucking shame that it didn't even get nominated for an Oscar. Then
And I
again, I
want to
wasn't
say, like,
mad.
is it really because of the motion capturing system?
No, it's a politics game.
Politics.
It's a if you talk to anybody who's um ever like worked out there and stuff in the film industry or gone to university out there, they know a little bit more about the politics of the Oscars.
Ah,
So it's
well, that
why the
sucks.
Golden Globes can have a different nomination set than the Oscars do.
Oh yeah, I still find it, freaky how like they always divide, for the movie categories, they always divide movies into comedy slash musicals and dramas.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
it's
like,
kind of
I'm
like
a
saying like, yeah,
fucking
they want to give a
comedy.
comedic movie an award for once, unlike the Oscars, because the Oscars never gives anything to comedy. So that's one thing to give comedy one thing, but it's kind of like they're boasting that drama movies are way better than comedic movies. At least that's what I'm getting. Like, here are the dramatic movies, and the rest are in this category.
I want to see Django and Chain win because it's Quentin
Oh,
Tarantino.
God, yeah.
Quentin Tarantino, hell yeah, Quentin Tarantino.
Fuck yeah,
All the
Quentin
other movies,
Tarantino.
all the rest of the movies look like dramatic, dramatic,
Drama,
dramatic,
drama, drama, drama.
drama, drama, drama. Then there's Jamie Foxx shooting shit
Yep.
with Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie
Mm-hmm.
and Samuel Jackson. Woo!
That
But
would
an
be
animated movie.
that would be an amazing day now that I think about it, because you're right. It's like drama, 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 drama. Jamie Foxx with a gun. Bam, 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 bam.
But yeah, I mean, like, I'm not saying Wreck-It Ralph's a bad movie. Like, if you ask me which movie I would probably want to watch again with a group of people, I'd probably say Wreck-It Ralph over Paranorman. But there's a difference between saying I think this is my favorite movie and then saying this is the better film.
Mm-hmm.
It's I can tell a lot of people my favorite movie I saw in 2012 was The Avengers. Paranorman is a better film than it. And yes,
Okay.
I actually do think that.
Wow. You heard it here, folks.
And I'll explain why Paranorman's a better film. It's just actually that good. It was well, like, setting aside the technical stuff, which is what I'm trying to do on both films, they
Mm-hmm.
both Paranorman and Wreck-It Ralph have a very similar starting place as a movie. It's about two outcast characters who want to, who are going through a place where it's wanting to fit in. And the difference between both movies is how they handle that respective path. Wreck-It Ralph does it in a way that you would expect. And I'm gonna bring up the line for anybody who's seen it. It's when Felix is in the jail and Ralph gets him, he goes, "Oh, you wouldn't know what it's like to be treated like an outcast," and da 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 da. And Ralph goes, "Yeah, I do. That's what I live every day." And suddenly Felix is completely okay with it. And the movie just treats it like, "Oh, now Felix accepts him because he talked his feelings out." Paranorman has a conversation very much like it, and he's like, "No one, you don't know what I go through," and no one actually treats him any like I think it's between Norman and his dad, um, where Norman's trying to explain to his dad what happened, and his dad goes, like, he says something like really actually terrible to say to your kid, which is, what was it? Norman says, "I didn't ask for any of this." Like, he says, "I never asked to be able to see ghosts," which is kind of what Ralph's saying. "I never asked to be a villain." And his dad goes, "Yeah, well, neither did I." To which a lot of other movies would have made the dad out to be a villain for saying that. And frankly, yeah, it's a horrible thing to say. Here's this thing, though. That's what real people's parents do. That's one of my biggest, like, credits for Paranorman is people do things in that movie which normal people do in everyday life. They don't code it down just because it's a claymation film, because it's an animated film, because it's aimed at kids. It treats its audience like it's competent. It
Hmm.
it really does. I say to people, Paranorman has probably the most accurate representation of modern bullying I've seen in a kids film, because the bully in it is just as much is a huge coward, and he's still kind of a jerk to Norman even in the end, where he's like, yeah, pretty like when the movie ends and Norman kind of gets his acceptance, he's like, yeah, I hang out with him all the time. We're best friends. Just like anybody who just watched another person save someone would do, he kisses his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a scene earlier in the movie where Norman and I really should look up people's names before I do this.
Mm.
Um, Norman talking to Neil. Neil says he goes, well, yeah, if I wasn't a bull, if I was in the bully's position, I would keep bullying you too. It's a dog eat dog world. It really is. It pretty much does that.
Yeah.
Um, the townspeople, they pretty much all want to lynch Norman at one point. And the only person who stops him is his sister because his sister realizes what's happening. And there's just so many things in that movie that make me really, really happy as someone who does think animation isn't a kid's medium, that it is an adult medium as well, that a movie didn't take it safe. Because there are a lot of really graphically dark things in Paranorman
Oh yeah.
that are they're not shown, but they are outright stated. Like the lynching of a 12-year-old girl
Wow.
because it was Salem witch trials.
Hmm.
They taken the people who made this movie, Lykia Studios, they actually took a lot of time and a lot of effort to do things in their movie that was a very original movie. I don't know if it's actually based off of anything, surprisingly. Um,
There's been a lot of stories about like kids or adults seeing the paranormal, like they can see ghosts, but it's all
I
on
mean,
how you deliver it.
like, I know I don't really want to spoil the movie too much, but I guess since we kind of spoiled Wreck-It Ralph, um,
Oh, go ahead. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Wee-oo, wee-oo. Continue.
like the zombies in the movie are the people who lynched the little girl, and they're not bad. Like, ooh, I want to eat you, zombie. They're more misunderstood in the fact that they're sorry for what they did to her. They're
Oh.
repenting for what they did. What would another kids movie about zombies do? Oh, they wouldn't give them a reason to be zombies other than ooh, zombie curse. They took into account that they were people who had wronged somebody, that their zombieism wasn't seen as something to be like, oh, cool zombies. Like it was like you felt bad for them as characters.
Hmm.
There's the scenes between the witch Abby and Norman at the end, which are technically done so fantastically. Like if you haven't seen the ending, like the last like 10 minutes of the movies as a technical achievement are out of the like wild. But the ending of that movie could have been solved with a lot of violence. It really could have. The end of that movie was more of a discussion ending, which a lot of people be like, "Oh, this is boring." But for the type of movie that they made, it was really, really good. And it was really, really awesome. And I kind of sat there in amazement that it was like, so what if you don't think people are there for you? There are always going to be people there, even if you don't know it, because you've got to look for people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the trope is called literally take the third option, which is pretty much Norman would have to read a fairy tale to the ghost just to get her to sleep every year, which is what they had been doing. Um, but he realizes that that's not going to fix anything. It's just going to keep it going, like this cycle of bullying. And he calls her out on being a bully. It's congratulations, Agatha. You got you got literally lynched for being not understood because you could see ghosts in freaking witch trial time. Um, but now you're cursing the same people. How does that make you any better as a person than another bully? You're just prolonging the cycle. He pretty much shows her, like, he could have literally been like, he could have just put her to sleep. The violent route, prolonging everything.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, he goes, no, I know what that feels like. I understand you. I wish I could have been there to understand you. But there are people who are trying to understand me. Why can't you really do that? And he calms her. And then there's also two other things that are really, really awesome, which is Neil's older brother being revealed to be gay,
Really?
and yeah, surprise,
We have a gay character. Okay.
a character. And the entire thing is they don't reveal it until the end. So all of your judgments based on his character is that he is the stereotypical jock, like lovable jock dumb guy.
Hmm.
And it's like at the end where Norman's sister's like, "Oh, do you want to go to the movies with me?" And he's like, "Yeah, my boyfriend loves chick flicks." Like my roommate and I were the first two to see it out of between my roommate, my boyfriend, and I, and we kind of just looked at each other and went, "What?" and started applauding. And then the other thing,
Wow.
like the other thing in the movie that made me like laugh beyond all belief, which it shouldn't have made me laugh this hard, was remember when I said the people who made this movie really, really researched what they were doing?
Mm-hmm.
There's a part where the zombies who are Puritans, which is a really, really like I was
Recording again.
saying, uh, I was saying something about Puritan characters.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they're Puritan. The zombies are Puritans, which if you don't know what Puritans are, back in the day they were like a really strict. I don't know if they still exist. I'm sorry if they do, and I offend your religion. Um,
Maybe Amish or Puritans. I don't know.
I think the Amish actually are Puritans, but these Puritan characters walk into this modern town where there's TV, drinking, dancing, and gambling, and they're shocked and afraid. And I literally started laughing my ass off because I found this completely hilarious. Also, when the zombies when the people start fighting back, by the way, this is a zombie movie where the crowd fucking fights back, which
Mm.
made me happy. Instead of being like, oh god, zombies run! They start fighting back. The zombies are afraid of the people.
Oh,
So
poor
yeah,
guys.
take that as you will. Most other movies would have been like, lol, nope. Zombies would have started killing people and would have been the bad guys. Blah blah blah. Megan's whining.
Hmm.
So it's a movie that it could have played itself extremely safe, and it didn't. And it was also, I know, again, me whoring out Cinema Snob. This is like his number four best movie of the year. He's like, it was a better horror film than most actual horror films.
Hmm.
So yeah, take of that as you will.
I'll
His
definitely
movie
have to
was
check that out. Like,
his
even
movie
though
was
I love Wreck-It Ralph with a passion, I will not complain if Paranorman wins just by hearing Megan's statement about the whole movie. I'm just like, okay, if Paranorman wins it, I will not complain. If Wreck-It Ralph wins, I will not complain. Any other title, I will flip more tables.
if Brave wins, you will actually flip a table
I'll flip a motherfucking giant table
on camera.
on camera.
On camera.
I'll do it. If Brave wins, I will flip a table. I'll do it.
So do we want to talk about any other Oscar stuff? Like how Megan thinks
Any other
that
movies that um
came out last
some
year?
some of our that were snubbed and other titles that some of our fans were saying. There was one title that everyone kept saying was snubbed, but I'm just like, eh.
Oh, Rise of the Guardians. I actually saw that too.
Yeah, like Megan saying that Rise of the Guardians should have deserved one. I'm just like, it could have been because of the animation as well. The animation was beautiful.
Story wasn't bad actually either. I actually really liked the story. My biggest problem was the same thing with like one of my big problems with Wreck-It Ralph is you guys could have done like a bunch of really awesome crazy shit and you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like you could have been really really ambitious and like there were
Hmm.
certain parts of it that could have been really ambitious and they weren't because I guess DreamWorks ran out of a budget.
Yeah.
DreamWorks ran, like I really really like I'll admit out of all the animated movies only what's its name? Rise of the Guardians is the only one that made me cry. But
Aw.
that was because I was so moved by the animation because it was so glorious. The animation was just glorious as all hell. So I
Mhm.
couldn't like. I was like, oh my god, it's so beautiful.
Mhm. Another
And it was good.
title, huh?
Oh, what was the other title?
Another title that a lot of our fans on our Facebook page keep saying, but I'm just like, I don't think it really deserved it because it wasn't really that good. Was The Secret World of Ariete.
I didn't even remember that came out last year. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would technically count. I think it came out too late to be considered, or I don't know.
No,
Some
like,
weird rule about international films or something.
yeah, international films have to do some sort of like film festival or something where they submit their animated works in and they just go up against the American films as well. But um
I thought
it's either,
Ariadne was pretty good. I just didn't.
it was cute. I'll give it that.
It was really cute.
But compared to the
Ariadne.
five that were nominated, it's eh.
There is one other animated thing we need to talk about. That if it doesn't win something, we're gonna flip a table.
Oh, Megan and I are in agreement to this. Like, it better
Paperman
win.
doesn't win Best Animated Short. I'm killing something.
Paperman. If you watch Wreck It Ralph in theaters, there was a beautiful, beautiful animated short called Paperman. The artistic direction was spectacular. It was, I would believe, it's best animation of 2012. Let's give it that. Like, put Paranorman and Wreck-It Ralph to the side. Paperman was my favorite animation in 2012. It is
It was
beautiful. The characters' expressions in their eyes are stunning. The artistic direction was perfect, and there's no dialogue, and it was
dialogue.
perfect.
It was a romance done with no dialogue, and it was glorious.
Oh my god! Like the guy like animating this saying was like supposed to be based in the 50s. I'm like, actually, I think it's more modern because of the music and I mean, yeah, you can say the fashion, but I think she was wearing more of a modern fashion, and he had a more modern
I
hair
don't
than what
care.
guys
It
would have
was
in the 50s.
good.
But it was just
I don't
so
even.
good.
I don't give a shit. Here's how much I don't give a shit about the clothing. It was just that good. I don't
Hmm.
give a.
So yeah, Paperman better win. And if anything else, especially Maggie Simpson's longest daycare day, I don't care, short
You
wins.
should not be losing to the Simpsons,
I
kids.
hope not. I hope not.
Not, and we have nothing against the Simpsons here.
Oh
At least I
yeah,
don't
it's
think I
cute.
do. I don't think we have anything against the Simpsons here.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna be a
just
little upset if Skyfall doesn't win Best Cinematography. Like, I'll actually be very upset if that doesn't win
mm-hmm.
that award because it deserves it.
So
Because Skyfall,
I'm only concentrating on best best animated film, best animated short, and best song because hell, if Seth MacFarlane wins an Oscar,
will you flip a table?
no. I'm gonna be like, fuck yeah! Seth MacFarlane!
Hey, the Muppets have won an Oscar. No,
Yeah, they
I
have.
don't want him to win Best Song. I want Skyfall to win Best Song because I love that
James
song.
Bond always wins Oscars. Let Seth MacFarlane have one. I mean,
No,
unless Seth
no,
MacFarlane's gonna make
Skyfall's
another movie, do you think
awesome.
he'll have another chance at the Oscars?
He's hosting the damn thing.
Oh come on! It's not like he
Most
knew his own song's gonna be nominated.
I don't know. I just want to see. I want Skyfall to win Best Cinematography. I
Hmm.
don't care if it's going against Les Mis and The Hobbit. Hobbit was a come visit New Zealand commercial.
That's all it is. Like Lord of the Rings,
I
yay!
like that
Hobbit, eh?
movie. I like The Hobbit. But
It was cute.
I was there for a shameless reason.
Hmm.
I liked Sherlock and Martin Freeman was in it.
Mhm.
I
I'll
guess
go
I
with
want to
Anne
see. I
Hathaway for
want to
best
see.
supporting actress, but as for main actress, like best actress overall, I don't think any of us care.
I want to see the kid win. I want to see the little girl win.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind that little girl one. She'd be the youngest one in history.
Yeah, I want to see her win.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Then
I
again, I
kind of
wouldn't
want to
mind
see
having the
Jennifer.
old lady win.
Like, I want to see Jennifer Lawrence win, and the other half of me still wants to punch people in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Hunger Games.
Yeah, there, down, down.
Just not a better fucking acting than the Avengers. Go to
Hmm.
hell, whoever said that to me. You were high as shit.
Hmm.
Why didn't Mark Ruffalo get nominated for Best Supporting Actor? God damn!
Like I say, like action films and comedy films are always snubbed at the Oscars. What can you do?
That was a perfect performance.
Hmm. All right, that wraps up our Oscars rant. Pretty much Megan and I are in agreement. Like either Wreck-It Ralph or Paranorman. Either way, we won't be disappointed if either one wins. If anything else wins, I'll flip a table. I will record myself flipping a table. Hopefully, not one with glass. Hell, I'll do one with glass. Have it shatter. That. And Paperman better win, or else I'm gonna be flipping more tables. So
Ow!
We'll have a rant. What did you do?
My hand on the table.
Don't do that.
Sorry.
So after February 24th, we'll have another video discussing what we thought of the Oscars and what we thought for Best Animated Film. So in the meantime, we're going to be working on A-list top 10 most annoying characters, the A&V contest, and more reviews. And I'm going to be watching more 2013 anime, so stay tuned to that.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Stay tuned to Anime America. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna go catch up on Top Chef now. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. That's my Skype stuff.
So I guess we'll. Yeah. Because, like, we have so polar opposite opinions on what should win Best Film this year, Best Animated Film this year.
What, you and your roommates or me and you?
No, you would know. I don't bitch with my roommates. I bitch with my internet friends on Skype. It's like a
Ah.
tradition. It's like a family tradition. We
It's
call each
tradition.
other up on Skype. We each have the Oscars on, and we sit and complain,
Mhm.
like about how they put Twilight into a movie montage last year. Yeah, when the chick in the group, when the only girl in the room is bitching harder than all the boys, you know there's a problem.
Mm-hmm. I
But
want to join that Skype call.
I don't know. It's like a tradition of our Skype group. It's been like established for like 3 years, so I'll ask them.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, since we all have like such very varying opinions on like what animated movies we like this year, because you hate one of them.
Do I?
Yeah, you hate Brave, don't you?
I don't remember Bree.
Brave.
Brave. Oh.
Yeah, like you hate Brave for some reason. And I'm like, it's not that bad. You're just mad it wasn't what the trailer said it was.
It
That's your
lied to
problem.
us all.
You're mad that it didn't live up to its trailer.
It lied to us all.
I didn't feel lied to.
It
I was
lied. It was a
expecting
liar.
Scottish shit. Scottish shit and bears. I got Scottish things and bears.
I think I was more led on by the Japanese trailer, but we'll discuss that in the rant.
You were not ranting.
Well, technically we are recording, but I didn't do the introduction.
Oh shit.
Let's save this material for later.
Super real.
LOL. Okay.
Are you actually gonna make a blooper reel?
Huh?
Do you actually have the blooper reel?
Not enough material, actually.
Oh.
That's the whole thing. Like, I want to do a blooper reel, but I look back, I'm like, I only have bloopers from the end of 2012.
Alright, so do your intro.
All right.
Intro, lady.
Yay! Intro!